Hello. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you're having a great day. Happy Friday. So I want to jump in and talk about three reasons why meal plans do not work for the long term. And this is something that took me way too long to realize and figure out. I was well into my 30s before I really stopped giving away my power to meal and menu plans. And the biggest thing when it comes to menu plans and meal plans is that they hold so much power, right? And so when we're trying to lose weight, when we're trying to break free from old habits with food and with nutrition and with feeling good in our body, we're looking for the perfect plan. And we want and we think because of the diet industry that it's out there and that it exists. But what we really need to do is bring our power back to ourselves and figure out what works for us. But at the same time, we just want someone to tell us what to do. We want to make it so easy. We want to build habits. We don't have to think about it. That's exactly what I want to talk about. So, three reasons that meal plans do not usually work, especially for sustainability. Yes, they can work for a very short period of time, but the first reason is that you don't stick to them, right? Life happens. You have a birthday party, you have a trip, you have a pandemic, you have something that happens that gets in the way of you following a meal plan. And the meal plan that I'm talking about is like, in the back of those fitness magazines where it's like, eat 1.5 pieces of bread with 1.5 tablespoons of peanut butter and half an orange for breakfast. And then eat 4 celery sticks and cottage cheese for lunch or for snack. And then eat salmon for lunch. And it's like, that's great, except totally unrealistic. So if you were to do that and if you were to follow it, it absolutely has potential to work. But the reason it doesn't work is because you're not going to, because of your life, right? It's not sustainable and likely that you are going to stick to a plan exactly. Nor do you want to live that way. That's not actually living, right? So what I want for you and what I have been able to make the switch and what I do with so many of the women that I work with is help you to create a plan that works for you and your family, but is not something that you stick to completely. And it can all boils down to building the habits, right? So the first reason that meal plans do not work is that you don't stick to them. If you followed them exactly to a T, they would work. But I really have yet to meet someone who does that. Actually, there's a few people that I know that probably could do that, but they don't because they're living their life. And even then, it takes a very specific person that would be able to have the discipline and the desire to follow something perfectly to a T. It's just not sustainable, right? And it's life. So I don't want that for you. So the first reason they don't work is because we don't follow them and we don't stick to them, nor should we. So I'm not saying that we should. The second reason that they don't work is because they're typically set up for a short period of time. The reason that they're created is to help you if you're, I mean, the diet industry is set up for short term. It's talking about like the next 30 days, the next 21 days, the next even 90 days, the next 3 months. It's very short term when it comes to life. So when you think of a meal plan and they're saying like follow this for the next 2 weeks, yes, you may see some positive things come out of it, but it's not designed forever because it doesn't take into account life. So this kind of goes with the first thing, but the first thing is we don't stick with them because we don't have the self-discipline, the willpower, or the ability to live our life and follow them. The second thing is that they're not built for life. They're built for the success of the plan or the program, which is typically 21 days, 28 days, 30 days, whatever it is. So if you are like me and you used to beat yourself up and you used to think like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I stick to this? And then it would almost lead you down it wouldn't almost, it would absolutely lead me down a rabbit hole of like, well, I'm a failure at this. I might as well just throw it all away and eat the rest of the cookies or dive into this or just kind of let it go completely and not worry about it. Or the just mental spiral of like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do this? How come this seems like it's so simple and it's not happening? So the second reason is that they are meant for the short term. So the third reason that meal plans really don't work, and I'm talking about the specific meal plans, is that they don't allow for wiggle room and they set your brain up for failure. Your brain then thinks there is a right way and a wrong way. And the right way is sticking to the plan exactly. Because especially high achieving moms, especially high achieving women and people in general, we like to do things the right way. So if we get a plan, we want to do it right. We don't want to like do it halfway because then we don't feel successful. So there's no wiggle room for that. So all of these things have to do with life, but they're setting us up for failure. And if you think that you just haven't found the meal plan that is going to pop out of a book or pop out of a diet or pop out of a magazine article, that it's not going to happen. You have to create the one that works for you, works for your job, works for the amount of kids that you have, works for the situation that you're in, works for your personality, your likes, your dislikes, works for everything about you. And so there is absolutely nothing wrong with you if you aren't able to follow a meal plan. In fact, that's one of the first things that I like to make sure that clients and people know is that it's not you, it's the plan, and it's never going to be you. It's always going to be the plan. So what we need to do is create the plan that works for you. And you're probably like, that sounds like a lot of work, but I promise you that it's not. And as soon as you start to build the habit of the meal planning way that works for you, then we can make that work. So I have a workshop coming up, and this is exactly what we do. Because when you create a formula that works for you, you take the power back to you and you decide how it's going to look and how it's going to work. And then it's able to be sustainable. And what I'm going to do in this workshop is give you the exact steps in the formula so that you can plug your life into it. You can plug your personality, you can plug your kids, your work, your situation, and you can plug it into this formula and you can say, oh, all I need is one Instapot recipe this week, one family favorite recipe this week, and one something new that I'm going to try. And that's going to work for me because I'm going to cook these 3 days. I'm going to always do Instapot this day. We're always having Taco Tuesday on this day. And here's how I'm going to make my lunches based off of that. Now, that might look something totally different to someone whose husband is traveling, or someone who has high school kids, or someone who has babies where high school kids, I often work with women who have a son who's trying to gain weight while they're trying to lose weight or feel good in their body. And what I found is like this formula can absolutely work for you if you have these different situations where you have different goals than other members of your family, where you have people kind of going in different directions, and it allows you to plan for life. So what you want to do is build the habit of being able to meal plan so that you can plan for your life and you can feel success and you can actually follow through with it, which is then going to get you the results. So when you stick to the plan, that's when it works to get you the results, because the plan is going to be built around the way that you want to eat. So lots of vegetables, lots of healthy fat, filling, satisfying things that are going to feel good and taste good. They're not going to be like 4 celery sticks and some cottage cheese, right? They're going to be something that saves you time and energy, because all you have to do each week is think, these are the 3 things I need. I can plug them into my own personal formula, and I have the power if I want to change it. I'm not failing. And so you can get back to building that habit of being in control of your meal planning, and at the same time, being successful and being ahead of the game. This habit is hugely foundational when it comes to feeling successful in your body, feeling successful as a mom, feeling successful as the queen of your house, feeling successful when you're feeding yourself, feeling like, oh my gosh, I just had a glass of wine and ate all the crackers and now I'm not full. I guess that's dinner, but I'm not really satisfied, but I shouldn't really eat. And it's like, that is exhausting and draining. And if you've been there before and you're thinking like, I can't get myself out of this, then this is absolutely the workshop for you. So I hope I see you on Tuesday. If you aren't able to make it on Tuesday, I'll post the info down here. If you aren't able to make it on Tuesday, then I will send you the PDF and the replay so that you can start to build this foundational habit in your life for where you are right now. So you might have been really good at it before, but what we want to focus on is right now, because right now is all and what matters most. All right, if you have questions, reach out, let me know. I will talk to you soon.